Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited that you are here with me today as always, but today I'm this much more excited because this is my very first video in my very first Halloween series, and I am so incredibly stoked. I can't even express to you guys how excited I am. I love Halloween. I absolutely love it. I love fall. I love everything about it, the weather, the atmosphere, the vibes that everybody gives out. It's my favorite time of year from September to the end of December. Like, that's my jam. Christmas though, that's when it gets real serious for me because that's my time to shine. I love Christmas, but I get so excited for Halloween and Thanksgiving and fall because that means we're that much closer to Christmas. Doing 3 in total, so this is the first of 3, so you can expect 2 more from me in the month of October. So for today's look, as you can already tell by the title and the thumbnail, I am going to be doing my take on the mermaid look for Halloween. I went back and forth on whether or not to do this look because so many people I feel like are gonna do mermaid looks because mermaids are everywhere right now. Like, it's just the thing right now. As I was researching for what looks I wanted to do and what I thought was going to be the most needed for people, the kind of things that most people are gonna wanna be and are gonna need tutorials on how to do these things, I really just couldn't help but think, wow, I really think a lot of people are gonna wanna see a mermaid look because I went into Target and there is so many things for mermaid looks for Halloween. I mean, Wet n Wild has an entire Halloween line for a mermaid look. I mean, this is literally called Mermaid Fantasy, Fantasy Makers, Painter's Palette. I just got one thing from the mermaid line because I didn't want to focus all on that. I wanted it to be a little bit more accessible. Not everybody can get to that line. But yeah, so I really thought that this was going to be a requested look. So I just went ahead and decided, you know, what the heck, let's do it. Let's put my take on it. Let's see what we get. Hopefully it is helpful and it entertains some of you guys, and hopefully it makes you excited for Halloween and maybe this is something you want to do. So I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to get right on into it. So if you guys are interested in seeing how you can achieve a mermaid look for this Halloween, then please just keep on watching this video. Of course, I'm starting with a fresh, clean, moisturized face, but the next step is to prime, and I'm using my Benefit POREfessional and just putting that in my T-zone and kind of spreading it honestly all over my face. I feel like it's important to use a smoothing primer when you're going to use face paint just to even out the texture of your skin. Next, I am going to conceal this lovely blemish that I have on my face, and I'm taking my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the Color Correcting Green shade, and I'm just putting that over any blemishes that I have and all my redness that I have on my cheeks so that that doesn't peek through. For my under eyes, I'm going to use the pink shade of my Urban Decay Naked Weightless Color Correcting Fluid. I'm just putting that all around my under eyes. A lot of people ask me why I use pink and not orange or red. I am super fair, so that's just way too intense of a color contrast going on. So I like to use pink because it brightens everything up and covers all of those dark spots. For foundation, I'm going to be using my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, but a really great alternative is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. I really love both of these foundations, but the Giorgio Armani just suits my skin better, so that's why I'm using it today. But you can definitely check out that L'Oreal Pro Glow one for the same effect. I definitely wanted my skin to look radiant and luminous for this mermaid look. That's why I chose this foundation. Like I said, the L'Oreal Pro Glow foundation will give you the same effect, and it will definitely benefit your wallet much more than the Giorgio Armani. So I'm just dotting this all over my face until I get the desired coverage that I want and patting it out with a damp beauty blender. Y'all know the drill with foundation. To set my foundation, I'm going to use my Lancome Absolute Powder in Absolute Pesh, and I'm just going to take a large powder brush and dust that everywhere just to add a little bit of kick of luminosity. And then to highlight and conceal, I'm going to use my Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer. This is in the shade Whiteout. Yes, you are seeing white concealer go on my face. This is not face paint. I am obsessed with this concealer, you guys. I have regular shades as well, but for my super fair skin, this is like a highlighting godsend. I'm telling you guys, if you are super fair, definitely try this whiteout shade when you really want an intense brightened under eye. It's so good, and it doesn't crease, and I love it. And I'm just putting that in upside down triangles under my eyes, on my forehead, the bridge of my nose, my chin, and on those little red spots on the bottom of my cheeks. And once again, tapping that out with a damp beauty blender. To set all that concealer, I'm going to use my Mercier translucent powder, and I'm just going to dip my damp beauty blender into the powder and just put that over the top of all of the concealer that I just put on. And I'm really being generous with it and just caking it on essentially, and I'm going to let that set and do my brows. And then I'm going to come back from my brows and be ready to contour. I'm going to have dusted off all of that baking that we did. I did my brows off camera just because I feel like that's an unnecessary step, and I'm going to do a brow tutorial very, very soon. So with this Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation stick in a contour shade for me, I am just going to put that on all the places that you would contour. So right underneath the tops of my cheekbones, and then I'm going to put it up on the sides of my forehead, and then down the sides of my nose and underneath my jawline. And I'm just going to take a damp beauty blender and blend that all out. So you guys know all the basic spots that you contour. You can see where I'm doing it here. When I do contour my nose here in just a second, I take a Kat Von D concealer brush and I blend it out. And I just really, really like the way that it blends it out. And then I just tap over it with a beauty blender to just kind of get that orange shade going away. To set all of that cream contour, I'm going to use my Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil Matte Bronzer, and I'm just going to take this e.l.f. contouring brush and just go over all the spots that I contoured with the Ultra HD stick, just to set it all into place so that it doesn't slip and slide throughout the day, and just add a little bit more dimension. And then with a large stippling brush, I'm just going to go over everything and diffuse it and make sure there's no harsh lines and that I'm not looking super orange. It can, if you're very fair, it can end up looking kind of orange, so you just have to go out and buff it away. And for blush, I am going to use a Morphe contouring brush, but I use it for blush because that's what Jaclyn Hill says to do, and I use Milani Luminoso. And now we're going to move on to eyes, and I'm just going to prime with my Urban Decay Eden Matte Eyeshadow Primer and tap that out with my finger. To set all of that priming, I'm going to go into my Kat Von D Shade Light Eye Palette, and these are the little mini quads, and this is in the shade range Sage. And I'm going to take that lightest shade on a big eyeshadow brush and just dust it all over my lid just to get everything set in place and create a nice canvas for all the eyeshadow we're going to use. So excited to be using the ReadySetGlamour collaboration with Ittse, the Squad Quad. Oh, it's so amazing. I'm using Hash Brown as a crease shade, just a nice transition on a big fluffy buffer brush, and I'm just putting that all over the crease. You guys, this Squad Quad is so incredibly good. Ittse shadows are out of this world, let me tell you. Oh. And then on a small crease definer brush, I'm dipping into that gray shade from the same Kat Von D palette, and I'm just going and defining my crease just to give the appearance that I have one. On a MAC 217, I'm going to take the Sage color and just focusing on the outer V, I'm really going to pack on pigment and then go in and buff it out. I really wanted to have this like sultry, forest green kind of smoky eye going on. I didn't want to do the typical bright green kind of foiled looking eyes just because I wanted it to be a little bit more wearable in terms of the actual regular makeup. I wanted the standout portion to be what I'm going to put on my face at the end. So I'm just repeating this step on the other eye and just really, really blending. Don't be afraid of all the pigment that gets packed on. These shadows are insanely pigmented and there will be a little bit of fallout, but you really just have to work with them and blend them until you get the desired look that you are going for. And it's really, really worth it to spend the extra time to work with these shadows because what are you doing in my house? back to the eyes. This shade, this is called Squad. This is the most perfect pearlized finish eyeshadow that I've ever used in my entire life. I'm using a synthetic brush, and I am just going to pack that onto my lid. This is probably my new favorite eyeshadow on the face of the planet. This Squad color that ReadySetGlamour did, Michelle did with Ittse. I have to buy every single shadow that Ittse has ever made because it is so incredibly good. I can't even explain it. You guys just have to go get it. And then I'm going to take my MAC 217 and just kind of go back in and make sure that there is no obvious lines where one shade stops and one shade starts, and I'm going to repeat the process on the other eye. For the lower lash line, I'm just going to take this flat smudger brush, and I'm going to dip into that sage color from the Sage palette, and I'm just going to line my lower lash line. I didn't want to use eyeliner. I just really wanted to bring together this green look, and then I'm going to take whatever's left on that big fluffy brush that we used before from the crease and just smudge it all out and make it look nice and cohesive. On a little small flat shader brush from Veramona, I'm dipping into the lightest color from the Sage palette, highlighting my inner corner and my brow bone per usual. And then we are going to do lashes off camera. These Vagas Grand Glamour lashes, best lashes from the drugstore I've ever used. Like, I'm going to buy every single pair. And then I'm going to take some fishnets and cut a little part off, and I just basically place this on the side of my face, as you can see me do right here, and I just take my Real Techniques beauty blender, my Real Techniques complexion sponge, and dip into that green paint that's from that Wet n Wild palette, and I just tap it over the fishnets. It's actually really simple. You have to get used to it. It's a little hard to position the fishnets on your face without really smudging it. It just takes some time. You have to be really patient with it, and you really have to go in and just intensify it. I didn't want it to look super perfect. I kind of wanted it to be a little messy, a little unsymmetrical. I really just kind of wanted it to look, I don't even know. I just kind of went for it. I didn't, like I said, I didn't want it to be perfect. I just kind of wanted it to be, you know, just different. I just wanted to go with it. So I basically just repeat that process over and over and over again until I'm happy with the way that it looks. I'm going to take the NYX Strobe of Genius highlighting palette, which is incredible by the way, and take the purple shade, and I'm just going to press that highlighting shade all over the top of the scales. I really wanted them to look shiny and super like actual scales would look, and so I just put it all over the scales. And then with this $4 glitter flake stack from Walmart, which is incredible, I'm just going to start making this really extravagant gold, almost scaling or detail, I don't know. This took the longest, and it was super messy because there was so much fallout. You have to glue on each individual flake, and I just used tweezers, and I just kind of really went for it. There's the top of my head. It's honestly just a creative process. There's not really a way for me to tell you how to do this part. You just put glue on your face and put the sparkles on your face until you have it look the way you want it, until you're just happy with it. It's just a process. I couldn't tell you why I chose to do this, but I just really wanted to. My camera died here, and I put sparkles on the other side of my face right there. As you can tell, I just did the same thing. And then I'm dipping back into that purple shade from the NYX highlighting palette and highlighting my usual spots. With this NYX Nude lip liner, I'm going to go ahead and line and fill in all of my lips, and then I am going to take the Kylie Metallic Liquid Lipstick in the shade Air, and I'm going to be really generous with this and really coat it on my lips until it's nice and sticky, because I'm going to take the glitter from that glitter and flake stack that I got at Walmart, and I'm just going to dip my finger into it and press it all over the top of my lips. I wasn't planning on doing this, but I just really wasn't happy with the way my lips looked without this glitter on it. I didn't know that's what I was going to do, but it just needed something extra, and that was it. And so I just tapped it all over my lips with my finger, and I put on some Urban Decay All Nighter so that nothing falls off, and that, you guys, is the finished look. Alright, you guys, this is the finished look, and I am actually so happy with it. I really, really like the way it turned out. I was super nervous because I didn't have time to practice or anything, but I like it. I don't know, it's kind of different from anything that I've really seen. I just kind of wanted to put my own spin on the mermaid look. I wanted it to be something super glamorous, something kind of different, something a little more subtle with the scales, but then I went a little ham with the gold flakes because I really liked the way they looked. But I don't know, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really hope you found it helpful. I hope you're excited about Halloween. Even if this isn't even a look you want to do, I hope it just got you stoked for the season and for the fall. But I do hope that some of you will take something from this video and maybe want to try this look out for yourself. If you guys do, I would love to see it, so tag me on Instagram. My handle is right here down below. Send me a comment, something. I would love to see it if you guys try this out or any form of this look. Again, I hope you guys like it. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching and making it through this video. Please don't forget to celebrate yourselves every single day. Catch you guys in the next video. Mwah!